You have got a rusty gate, a corroded fence, maybe a truck frame starting to go. The hardware store wants $60 for a rust treatment you will be reapplying in 6 months. The actual fix might be growing in your garden right now. It costs nothing, and it converts rust into a permanent protective layer at the molecular level. It has been doing that for thousands of years, while the coatings industry made sure you never looked at a tree and thought chemistry. This is the build guide. We build what they buried. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what that free compound is, how to make it from what is in your garden, and why the rust treatment industry spent decades making sure you kept buying a product that was always the worst option. 4 completely separate civilizations on 4 different continents all independently discovered this same compound and used it to protect metal, not through shared research, not through trade, through observation. And every single one of them found the source in plant life. That is not a coincidence. That is nature showing its hand. The reason every hardware store rust product eventually fails comes down to one word: chemistry. Once you see what is actually happening to the metal, you will never buy a rust primer again. Rust is iron oxide, that orange-brown corrosion you get when steel meets moisture and oxygen. It is destructive because it keeps going, eating deeper into the metal over time. Every product on the hardware store shelf is trying to either remove it or cover it up. Covering rust does not stop it, it just delays it. And removing it requires the surface preparation that makes professional rust remediation cost hundreds of dollars per job. There is a naturally occurring acid that does something completely different. When it contacts iron oxide, the acid molecules bond directly with the iron atoms in the rust. They convert the iron oxide into iron tannate, a stable, dark, hard, crystalline compound bonded to the steel at the molecular level. The rust is not removed and it is not covered up. It is converted into the very thing that protects the metal from further corrosion. Run your finger across a treated surface after the conversion is complete, and you will feel the difference immediately. The loose, powdery rust is gone. In its place is a dense, slightly granular texture, almost like fine sandpaper bonded to the steel. That surface is iron tannate. It is not sitting on top of the metal. It has become the metal's outer layer, and that conversion is permanent. It does not degrade, chip, or need reapplying because it has become part of the metal itself. That dark surface on antique ironwork that has survived centuries outdoors is often this exact compound. It was not applied from a bottle. It formed because those craftsmen understood something the modern coatings industry spent 200 years pricing out of your awareness. That acid is called tannic acid, and where it comes from is the part that changes everything. This chemistry is not new. The fact that 4 civilizations on 4 continents discovered it independently, with no contact and no shared knowledge, tells you something important about how solid the science is. Roman blacksmiths in the 2nd and 3rd centuries noticed something strange. Iron tools dipped into the acidic tanning vats used for processing animal hides came out differently. The surface darkened, and those tools resisted corrosion for months, sometimes years. Identical untreated tools left in the same workshop rusted within weeks. The craftsmen did not know the periodic table. They just knew the dark iron outlasted the bright iron, so they kept doing it. What they did not know was why. And the answer was sitting right in front of them. Those tanning vats were filled with oak bark. Oak bark contains between 8 and 20% tannic acid by dry weight, one of the highest natural concentrations found anywhere. Every time an iron fitting went into that vat, it was being treated with the same compound doing the molecular conversion we just described. Thousands of miles away, West African iron smelters in the Nok and Bantu traditions arrived at the same conclusion. They treated finished metal with plant acid washes from fermented bark and fruit pulps. Archaeological studies have confirmed tannate residues on iron artifacts from sub-Saharan sites dating to the 1st millennium. No contact with Rome. No shared knowledge. Just the same chemistry discovered independently through observation. In feudal Japan, swordsmiths applied acidic clay slurries containing plant-derived tannins to blade surfaces before final tempering. The result was a thin conversion layer that enhanced corrosion resistance. It also created the distinctive darkened patterning on Japanese blades that collectors still prize today. This was not decoration, it was chemistry. And here's the connection the coatings industry does not want you to make. If you have an oak tree in your garden, or on your street, or in your local park, you are standing next to a free rust converter right now. You have probably walked past it hundreds of times without ever knowing it. So how do you actually turn that bark into rust protection? There are two routes. The oak bark method costs nothing. The purchased tannic acid powder costs a few dollars and gives you more control. For oak bark, collect fallen bark from beneath oak trees or break small branches into pieces. Simmer them in water for about an hour, roughly a double handful of bark per liter. What you get is a dark brown liquid naturally rich in tannic acid. Let it cool, then apply it to the rusted surface with a brush or cloth. Keep it wet and reapply as it absorbs. Within 10 to 15 minutes, you will watch the color shift from orange-brown through gray toward black. That color change is iron tannate forming in real time. For purchased tannic acid, dissolve the powder in warm water at 5 to 10% by weight, roughly 50 to 100 grams per liter. Apply it the same way. The higher concentration speeds up the reaction and gives a denser final coating, and this is the version to use on anything structural where you want maximum conversion depth. If you do not have an oak tree nearby, tannic acid is also present in chestnut bark, black walnut husks, sumac leaves, and tea leaves. You are not far from a natural source wherever you are. In both cases, remove loose flaking rust with a wire brush first, but do not sand down to bare metal. The tannic acid needs the intact rust to react with. The corrosion is the raw material for the conversion. This eliminates the surface preparation step that accounts for roughly half the cost of professional rust remediation. Apply 2 coats minimum with a 4-hour cure between them. After the second coat cures for 24 hours, the surface is ready to paint, wax, oil, or leave as is. The iron tannate layer alone will outlast any spray-applied rust inhibitor by years. Full treatment of a rusted gate using oak bark from the garden, $0 in materials, and an afternoon of your time. So if it is that accessible, why does almost nobody know it exists? The global paints and coatings industry generates over $200 billion in annual revenue. The entire economic model depends on products that need reapplying. Coatings fade, primers peel, rust inhibitors wear off in 6 to 12 months and bring you back to the hardware store. A permanent conversion that costs nothing to make is not a product. It is the end of a product category. Tannic acid cannot be patented. It is a naturally occurring compound in plant material found on every continent. No corporation can build exclusive manufacturing rights around oak bark. No exclusive rights means no premium pricing, no marketing budget, and no presence on the contractor certification programs that tell every tradesperson which products are approved. The building codes that govern rust treatment do not list tannic acid conversion. There is no company with the financial incentive to pay for the testing and certification required to get a non-proprietary compound listed. So the system does not ban it. It just excludes it from the approved list and requires contractors to use approved products. The practical effect is identical to a ban without the legal liability of issuing one. What that means in practice is this. A homeowner who asks a licensed contractor about rust treatment will never hear the words tannic acid. The contractor is not hiding it deliberately. They genuinely do not know. Their training, their certifications, and their supplier relationships all point in one direction, toward the proprietary product with the margin attached. They did not suppress this because it failed. They made sure you never heard of it because it worked too well, cost too little, and grew too freely for anyone to control. A solution that lives in oak trees cannot be warehoused, cannot be branded, and cannot be placed behind a counter with a margin on it. The only thing standing between you and permanent rust protection has always been the information. Now you have it. If you have an oak tree near you, you have a free rust converter sitting outside right now. If you do not, A 100-gram packet of tannic acid costs less than a coffee and treats more surface than a $60 primer you will be reapplying in 6 months. That rusty gate, that corroded fence post, that tool you wrote off as too far gone, none of it is beyond this. Roman blacksmiths, West African smelters, and Japanese swordsmiths all independently discovered the same thing by watching what the natural world was already doing. You can do the same thing this afternoon. The rust does not get removed, it does not get painted over. It gets converted into the thing that protects the metal permanently at the molecular level. The source of that conversion has been growing in gardens and lining streets and standing in parks for thousands of years, ignored by the industry that profits from the problem it solves. Every time you walked past an oak tree, you walked past the answer. Next up, there's a chimney that cools your entire home in the middle of summer using nothing but the physics of rising hot air. No electricity, no refrigerant, no monthly bill, no moving parts that can break. It has been doing exactly this across the Middle East and North Africa for over 1,000 years. The energy industry earns billions from the air conditioning units in your windows. It has had every reason to make sure you never heard the words wine catcher and thought I could build that. That one is next on the build guide. Subscribe and hit the bell. You will not want to miss that one.